With around 8 billion people on this planet and limited space, unless you are living on the moon, it is inevitable that we are going to have to live side by side with one another. And these people we call neighbours. Now, if you're lucky enough to have grown up on maybe a huge farm or in some massive mansion with acres of surrounding land, yeah, you may not have had this problem. However, if you're anything like the rest of us simple average peasants, when you finally grow up and move into your own place, you won't just have one neighbour, you'll have several. You'll most likely be living in a small one-bedroom apartment surrounded by other fellow human beings that you will gradually grow to despise. Or at least that was my experience, because when I finally moved into my own place, I shared the building with 4 other apartments. That is at least 4 new potential friends, you may think. Well, no. So let's go through all these potential friends and find out how they made their way to mortal enemies. Firstly, let's start with the apartment to my right. This apartment was actually the only one that covered 2 floors, and it had a large family living there. A large family which presumably hated each other. Because from the moment I woke up to the moment I went to sleep, all I would hear was... Actually, that's not entirely true, because I'd hear it when I was trying to sleep too. With this family's love for all things argument, let's call these guys the debate team. Now let's move on to neighbour number 2, the neighbour to my left. And this neighbour I never actually met. In fact, I never even heard this neighbour, never so much as crossed paths. So, how did this guy get on my top 10 most hated list? Well, there's something I haven't yet mentioned about this guy, and that is that he didn't live alone. He had a dog. Now, I love dogs. I love all animals. However, this thing was no standard dog. This thing was a spawn of Satan himself, sent from hell just to torment me. This thing would bark directly at my wall for hours on end. I literally had to wear headphones all evening just to drown it out. We will call this neighbour the irresponsible dog owner. So if the screaming family and barking dog weren't enough to drive me crazy, let me introduce you to neighbours number 3 and 4. These neighbours live directly below the irresponsible dog owner, one after another. So we'll start with neighbour number 3. A young couple. And unlike the debate team, these two got on very well. Like, exceptionally well. These two were very much in love, but they didn't mind if everyone else had to hear about it. Luckily though, these neighbours didn't actually live there very long, so we will just call these two the lovers, which seems appropriate because they were then replaced by neighbours number 4, the fighters. This family would drink all the time, shout, scream, damage property. These guys were probably the worst. They even smashed down our fence one night while fighting each other and simply tried to blame the wind. And that simply leaves neighbour number 5. The neighbour that lived directly below me. These were the neighbours that actually led to me moving out. Because these guys were amazing. We got on great. We had game nights, ordered pizzas. I still see them to this day. They were the best neighbours I ever had. So, why did I move out because of them? Well, because they moved out first. What if I was a nightmare neighbour they wanted to get away from? But when they moved out, I knew it was time to leave. Because with the luck in neighbours I had, who knows who would have moved in after them? So as it happens, you're very much in luck, sir, because this place is ready to move in straight away. Hey guys, just wanted to say a massive thank you for watching and for all the support and kind messages I've received. I really appreciate it. This is of course also the part of the video where I ask you to press all the buttons, like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. You can also join me on any of these social media platforms listed on screen. I look forward to seeing you all on the next video, so until next time, bye bye.